Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on my channel. For this week's review, we're going to be testing out the Fenty Beauty Bomb Posse eyeshadow palette. I haven't actually ever tried any Fenty Beauty products before, but I've heard so many things about it, so I wanted to see for myself what it was all about. So in this video, I'm going to be putting this eyeshadow palette to the test. I'm going to create an eyeshadow look out of it, as well as looking at the formula and how the product applies, the pigmentation, all of that good stuff. So I think this video is going to be more around actually how the product is rather than the actual makeup look itself, because let's face it, like, I'm rubbish at eyeshadow looks. I would love to tell you I've got a plan. I really don't. I never do. I just wing it all the time, and that isn't always the best thing to do. But yeah, before we get into it, make sure if you haven't already, you subscribe to this channel for more videos like this, as well as turn your notifications on to be told every time I post. As well, follow me on my Instagram, Twitter, and my TikTok. You know the drill. Follow me on all of those. They're all good. And yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna attempt another transition from this makeup look, which I've been wearing all day, to a bare face. I'm gonna try and do that with a definitely not cringy transition. So yeah, here we go. Ta-da! So I've zoomed you in a tad before I get started. If you want to skip to me actually testing out the products and stuff like that, then I'll put a timestamp on the screen for where you need to skip to, because I know that some of you guys aren't really here for the chat. So starting off with the basics, I picked this palette up from my local Boots. It retails for £39 in the UK. Obviously prices may slightly vary depending on where you buy them from. This is a 12 shade palette and is more of like a warm tone in my opinion, because there's lots of like pinks and like nudes and warm tone shades. It's a mix of matte as well as metallic shades, which is really nice because you can create a whole bunch of different looks. The packaging is like a solid like 9.5 out of 10. If it was black, I'd probably give it a 10 just because black is my favorite color. It's packaged really beautifully. It's got all of the shades on the back, and can I just say I'm absolutely obsessed with some of the names of these shades already. I've always said my dream job is to be the person that names shades of different types of products, whether that be makeup, paint. I can't think of anything else that you need shades for. I don't know. I think out of all of these shade names on here, probably my favorite is either Bare Buns with a Z or Get This Bread. It just screams like sassy bad girl Riri energy. And I'm here for it. So before I jump into prepping my eyes and all things like that, the only thing I will say is this is actually really hard to open. Hello, it's all pretty. I'm going to swatch some of these shades on the back of my hand just so you guys can see. I am swatching the shade Ballerina. I'm saying it like that because there's an apostrophe in the middle. Another shade, La Bronze. Another metallic shade we are swatching is the shade Beverly Chills with a Z. That's why I'm saying it like that. Also, ooh, these are so nice. And then the last metallic shade I'm going to swatch is the shade Fussy with $2 signs. This shade here is the shade Ballerina, which is a really cute baby pink. Then next up we have the shade La Bronze. The next shade we have here is Beverly Chills, and then the last shade that I swatched was that really pretty shade Fussy with $2 signs. So far, just from doing the little swatches on the back of my hand, they are relatively pigmented. I'd probably give them like a 7 out of 10 pigmentation. That's just from a couple of like rubs in the pan of the palette. Like I said, super smooth, almost buttery if anything. You can't feel any of the grains of the metallic particles in the shadows, which is amazing because there is nothing worse than having a grainy metallic shade that is like irritating your eyes. It's just not okay. It's a very smooth, very light formula from the swatches. I'm now going to swatch a couple of the other matte shades just so we can see. Nude Beach. I'm not going to lie to you, I did double dip into the pan to do that swatch. I'm going to do the shade Bare Buns. Fucking love the shade names for this. And then the last shade I'm gonna swatch is the shade Get This Bread. That one is probably the most intense one in the palette. It's also the darkest. Get This Bread, Bare Buns, and Nude Beach. Once again, the shades are really nice and smooth on the skin. They're probably like apart from the last one, they're all probably like a 7, 8 out of 10. Very buildable, smooth shadows. Right, I'm back to looking like a crackhead or like the shittest looking superhero on planet Earth. Like, it looks like I'm wearing an eye mask. Anyway, since the last clip, I have now prepped my eyes. I've literally just used some sticky tape underneath just so that I can get a very nice, precise, like... I used the P. Louise base just to prep my eyes. This is the shade Rumor 01. And then I also just tapped as little translucent powder as possible just to set that, just so I didn't want to disturb like the actual eyeshadow performance itself. I don't even have a plan of what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go in and can do something. So, I thought I'd pause here whilst I'm doing my eyeshadow just to kind of like give you a little update as I go along. So I've applied all of the matte shadows that I think I want on my lid, but so far so good. Like the shades are really smooth. I'm now gonna peel these bits away just because I don't need the guide anymore. Yeah. There isn't any fallout on my cheeks underneath here. I always do my eyeshadow before my face makeup just to make sure that if there is any unexpected fallout that I'm not gonna brush it and it's just gonna go. This is what we're working with so far. I really like the way that this has come out. It's nice and sharp. It's blended really well with the concealer that I had. Okie dokie, as you can see, the rest of my makeup is on my face. I'm going to now apply some of the metallic shades to the sort of like the inner parts of my eyes, so sort of the inner corner and the midsection, and then kind of blend it out. Okie dokie everybody, so this is the completed look. I'll pop on the screen what it looks like up close because obviously you can't see it from here. So first of all, I want to say, to recap, packaging a 9 out of 10. The shade choice I would probably give about a 7. It's a very like warm tone, neutrals kind of palette with a little bit of glitz to it, which is super nice. For me personally, it works well for more of a day-to-day, I would say. The formulas for these eyeshadows are really nice, they're creamy. The matte shades are buildable and they're relatively pigmented. If you want more, obviously you apply more, but I'd say do it in stages rather than bashing it on there. The metallic shades, really nice, super smooth, really creamy, very fine grain formula for the metallic shades. Went super easy onto my lids. It literally just patted on there really nicely for kind of like a more lighter look, whereas if you want something a bit more intense, definitely cut the crease, pop on some concealer and then pat it on there like there's no tomorrow. There was the tiniest little bit of fallout with the metallic shades, but nothing like what I expected it was going to be. A lot of the time, if you don't either wet your brush or you don't use concealer, the metallic shades can go everywhere. It does happen. It happens more than you think, and it's really normal. It's very rare that a palette doesn't have like at least one shimmer shade or shade in general that is a little bit more fallouty than the rest of them. The majority of the shades had pretty much little to no fallout. If that is something you are worried about, then do what I did. Apply your eyeshadow to your face first and then the rest of your face makeup afterwards, just to avoid any type of accidents happening. Now for the nitty gritty, the price. I hate talking money, but here we are talking money. So this retails for £39. It definitely is like worth investing in if you want sort of like a bit more of a high-end makeup, which is easy to use. Like this think legit people are actually racing outside my house, and that's so annoying. I don't even remember what I was saying, like the words have gone from my mouth. Yeah, this is a more like higher end eyeshadow palette. It's super easy to use, like very soft, very blendable, like a nice beginner palette if you maybe want to treat yourself or treat a friend or a family member or just someone that you love. Like, it doesn't matter if they're related or not. It's a nice nude neutrals palette. Definitely one that I would maybe say is more likely to be like a staple in your makeup. I think within that price you are also paying for Rihanna's name on there, but I mean, she is a queen, so I want to support the queens. Nice, sleek, compact palette as well. As I said, they've got the shade names on the back of there. The shade names are a 10 out of 10. I love them so much. If you're gonna get it for anything, get it for the shades. Hilarious, I love it. I hope that all of our shades are like this. It really did help sell it to me, I'm not gonna lie to you. So overall rating, I would give this eyeshadow palette like an 8 out of 10. I definitely would use it again, but more kind of like in the summer, autumn time rather than the winter. But yeah, that's what I thought of this palette. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up so I know. It really does help me out a lot. I'll leave a link as well to this palette in the description for you in case you want to try it out for yourself. Along with my social media, you know the drill, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more videos like this and turn your notifications on to be told when I post. Thank you again so much for spending your time with me this week. I hope you have a super lush rest of your day, whatever you are doing, and I will see you next time for another video. Bye guys.